Hello everyone, and welcome once again to another video for the channel. On this occasion, I bring you the review completed of my Nether's Delight. What many consider to be the best Farmer's Delight addon. It will be true, perhaps this one deserves to go in each of your Minecraft worlds. Well, in this video we will find out. And well, people already know it. I hope you've already left your like and subscription, since that will be helping me a lot to continue uploading content like this every week. But oh well, with nothing more to say, let's go for the video. Being the Niddos of my Nether's Delight, considered today as one of the best legendary Farmer's Delight addons. This, as its name says, will consist of adding new foods and nether-focused dishes from meat sources such as hoglins, and adds new highly dangerous crops. And well, after this little introduction, let's go now step by step. First, we will talk about the new ingredients for the dishes. In this case, as I mentioned, we will have this new crop, bullet peppers. These will usually appear in crimson forests, being highly explosive with minimal contact. But we will be able to collect them safely by right-clicking them with a knife. Over time, as it grows, it will become a kind of bamboo. And when breaking it, will allow us to create the following objects. Obviously, the most interesting ones will this new type of blackwood be, and the dusty cannon torch. Returning to the topic of the bullet pepper, we can turn this into blaze powder by passing it through a chopping board, or put it together to create the pepper drawer. Serious bullet. I love this crop. Look at all the juice the creator got out of it, only to a simple crop. I hope in some update, put in another similar crop. Maybe some species of fruit that appears in the biome of Sand of Souls. And finally, to finish with the topic of crops, they will also have added a new type of subscription. This will be made with the following ingredients to turn it into rich nether soil, and we can use it to create crops. We should place a heat source near it. In this case, shiny blocks like glitter candles, bonfires, or even lava, and further accelerate the conversion process. Add fungi or nether warts, which, by the way, this new soil will serve us to plant these same mushrooms, making them reproduce, and thus creating the fungal colony. And be careful, things don't end here, because the rich soil of the nether will allow us plant almost any type of crop. But unlike normal soil, to moisten it we will have to use lava. Well said, all this. Now, let's move on to the topic of meat, because now almost all the creatures of the nether, now they can be ingredients for our new dishes. First, we will start with the most obvious of all, because the hoglin already left us leather and pork chops. But once downloaded, this addon will no longer let you down. Instead, you will now have the ham, pork loin, and hoglin skin. Obviously, to obtain them, you must finish them off with a farmer's knife. We'll talk about the delight of food later. Let's first focus on the skin. We can pass this through the chopping board, or use it to create the hoglin trophy, a beautiful decorative piece that will go with time and deteriorating. But we can cancel this process when giving beeswax in order to preserve it. The next creatures will be the striders. When finishing off one of these, they won't be leaving behind a strider egg and its meat. We can place the meat on a chopping board to obtain threads and minced meat. While if we throw the eggs, we will have a chance to drop a strider pup, or even the broken egg. But if what you want is to obtain this object, better put it on a chopping board and break it with a pick, so that it is secured. Continuing with the creatures, we will have the magma cube, which will not be leaving us a new ingredient. They will be the same magma balls, the ones we will use for the dishes. And finally, we will have the ghast. And unlike the new versions, that will be a friendly pet. And this will be another source of food. Well, now when we finish with him, he will be leaving us the ghast dough. And when passing it to the chopping board, Gizmodo will be leaving us, and well, since we are talking about obtaining the new ones and ingredients. Now, yes, let's talk about the new food that this add-in will bring. Let's start with the most striking one, and basically the one that started the whole stuffed hoglin. Spanning 2 size blocks and a 2-step creation process. It will be a super complete dish, where we will first have to trim their ears with a knife, then with some bowls. Right-click, giving us dishes of a single creature. One with a stuffed snout, for roast hams and for stuffed hoglins. In addition to the ears, of course. In case you don't want to waste anything, of course. But you know what I would do in this case? That the ears could be fed to the wolves. And then have some special effect, as speed, strength, or regeneration. Or who has not fed his dog? Some leftovers from your meal. Returning with the feasts, we will also have the magma cake, being able to place it as a decoration and cut it on the chopping board to get your slices. And well, it will not feed too much. Its true function will be to feed the frogs, so that you have your shiny blocks. Then we will have Strider's bread, which curiously, if we place it and wait a few minutes, this will cool down, having a very curious mechanics. Well, the hot Strider plate, it will leave you with a nourishing effect for 1 minute, but it will feed less, while in its cold state it will feed more. But the nourished effect will only last 40 seconds. Personally, I think the cold Strider is a little more worth it. And finally, we will have the gas with cream, also known as the true infinite food. Well, if you take a few bowls of this without finishing it all, this will grow back. And so there are a lot of new foods, with excellent designs, and food, like the sausage and potato, the American breakfast, spicy noodle soup, spicy wings, spicy curry. But well, now you understand. And be careful that also, some of these foods will have a pungent effect, which will burn you from time to time. But in return, if you find yourself wearing some armor with fire protection, or the fireproof potion effect, being near a heat source will regenerate you. And speaking of effects, now let's move on to talk about the mod's new enchantment, poaching. This can be placed on both axes and swords, giving it the same ability as the knife, to remove extra ingredients to creatures like hoglins that only the knife would be able to remove. But be careful that in one of those encounters, the enchantment may turn him into a zoglin. And with all this, I only have to ask you, what did you think of this add-in? Really, do you think it's the ultimate farmer's delight accessory? Or what other food add-in would you like us to try? In an upcoming video, I'll be reading you in the comments.
Quisiera mandar un pequeño saludo a todos los nuevos miembros del canal de grado Mini P. Un gran saludo también a todos los poderosos miembros de grado nivel Gran Puerco, los cuales podrán ver los videos mucho antes de que salgan. Y por supuesto también un enorme saludo a Macleberry, Mateo Miño, Zair, Aquiles, Zack, Martín, LSC, Facu, Mar 840, Valentino, Benjamín, Messi Humilde, Demi, Lucas Fernández, Eduardo López, Matías, Sacro Infernal, Valentino, Seraf Luminaris, Gay Lost, Regalín, Agustín Servín, Telesma 7, Tuki, Pacos Tex, Brandon Sánchez, Maximino Tevez, Magic, Intro Dark, Juan Pablo, Tomás Levet, Velázquez, Luciano Bobillo, Rodrix, Giovanni Miguel, Misael Besano, Great, Ángelo Labs y Benz, los cuales se volvieron miembros del canal de grado marrano legendario. Y por supuesto también un poderoso y enorme saludo a nuestro miembro del canal XD No sé, quien actualmente posee el rango del poderoso lechón primigenio. Muchísimas gracias a todos por seguir apoyando al canal.
And well guys, I hope you liked it, that they had fun. That's the most important thing for me. If you liked the video, I wanted you to please leave your like. You will comment what you thought of this video. What other types of videos would you like to see on the channel? And also subscribe. That this is very important. Remember that hoglins cannot be milked. And see you in the next video. Bye.